Hello, my fellow yarny friends. I don't know why I always do that with an accent. It just sounds cute, I guess. So I was just sitting here crocheting as usual and thought to myself, well, I've gotten a few things done and I've acquired some more yarn. So I thought, why not put up a video? So here I am. By the way, my name is Donna, and I want to welcome you to my channel. This is Donna Loves Yarn, and it's because Donna loves yarn. I really do. And after I show this to you, you're gonna really know how much I love yarn. I don't know if I love a bargain more than I love yarn, but I love a bargain. So bargain and yarn, perfect match for me. So on my last video, I mentioned a shawl that I was working on and I wanted to go in and see if I could edit it, but I couldn't without replacing the whole video, and I didn't want to have to do that. So it was a shawl. I can't remember the name of it, but it was the one that was yellow with the increasing, or the, what did I refer to it as? Not increasing stitches, but starts with a single, half double, double, treble, treble, ascending, descending, ascending and descending stitches to make like this kind of a wave type thing in the shawl. And I said that I was having trouble with it, particularly on the ends. And it was because of the fine yarn, and it was really hard to get into the stitch I was supposed to get into on the end. So I frogged it. And I frogged it because, as I mentioned also in that other video, I wanted to make the leafy shawl from Stina. And I found out her name is Stina, not Dina. When she introduces herself, it sounds like she says Dina, but I went and looked her up on Instagram, and it's definitely Stina, and everybody in the comments were calling her Stina. So I'm like, you know, it's a Dutch name, and Dutch names aren't like American names, so it's just weird to understand, you know, names from other countries. Anyway, I wanted to make her leafy shawl, and I knew what yarn I wanted to use. So I changed my mind on the yarn I was going to use. And what I did was, on that other shawl, I had started in the center, and instead of frogging all that, which there was probably, I don't know, maybe a dozen rows, maybe a little more. Instead of frogging it, I decided to start on that cake from the outside and work in. And then as I got closer to that, where I started that shawl, I would just frog it as I go. So, yeah, so I did that. I'm confusing two shawls now. So I frogged it to make this shawl I'm about to show you. But the yarn that I was gonna use to make that shawl, I've now started another shawl with it. And I'll show that to you here in a minute. So, actually, no, I'm not confused. It was that yarn, but I didn't use the whole cake. So that cake ended, the center was yellow, the outer was purple. So I got to where the shawl was big enough, and I just stopped, and I didn't do any of the yellow on this shawl. So let me show you. This is so pretty. I put it on my Facebook. I haven't blocked it yet, but it really is plenty big. And I can't remember what pattern this is. I should have wrote it down, and I didn't. I'll have to look it up and post it in the comments. But here it is. It's so pretty. And this is a yarn art cake, I think, or this might have been one. No, this is one that I got from Hirschner's. It was a Milan. It was one of the sparkle ones that I got in my last Hirschner's Milan's order. So we've got, you know, the cluster stitches up here, then a row of double crochet, and then cluster stitches in a different format all the rest of the way down. And then I ended it differently than she said to, because I wanted kind of a ruffly edge. So I ended it with a 9 stitch shell. So it made kind of a ruffly. It's really pretty. It's so pretty. And it's my wingspan. Maybe a little more. Well, it's about my wingspan. But I just didn't think the yellow would look good. So I cut it off after the orange. And so that was the end of that cake. So, okay. Hopefully the dog will leave me alone. Okay, so that's the leafy shawl. He wants me to play fetch, toss and fetch. All right, so the next shawl that I wanted to start, get that off of there. The next one that I wanted to start, I was just looking through YouTube one day and saw this really pretty pattern from the channel is Olga Poltava, and she must like to work with mohair yarn, because the two tutorials that have come up on my feed have been from her, and they've been both of them with mohair yarn. So I actually started 2 of them. This is so pretty. No, you can't have this. Go get your toy. So this I got from Temu, and it's supposed to be mohair. You can't have it. It's supposed to be mohair, but it's not. Do I still have the, oh yeah, the label is actually kind of humorous, because on the label it says grade acrylic 40%, imitation wool, pure acrylic fiber 60%. So I think when I went to order it, I don't think they put in the part imitation. So it's 100% acrylic. I mean, I thought that was really funny. So anyway, Goober, I'm talking, so he wants me to play now. Anyway, this is called the Lacy Leaves shawl, and it's a rectangular wrap, so it works this way. So this is the width of it, but isn't that gorgeous? I mean, it might be fake mohair, but it sure turns out pretty, and it's not as hard to work with as I thought it would be at all. It's really not hard to work with. It's really actually fun. So I started that one. I haven't picked it up in a while. And then I've got this yarn. I've had this for a while. Well, what's a while? I've been crocheting since March of 2022. So, you know, I've probably had this yarn. This was one of the very first yarns that I got. And it's the Peyton's Lace Sequin. Peyton's Lace Sequin. And it's 68% acrylic, 14 polyester, 9 mohair, 9 wool. 2.5 ounce, 70 grams, 344 yards. and they had tons of this stuff. It's a local salvage store in my area, and she brings in yarn all the time, and they had loads of this stuff. And I think over the last, of course they don't have it anymore, but I think total, I think I probably bought 6 or 8 skeins of it. And it's just really pretty neutral with these really pretty sequins in it. So I thought that would be neat to make that lacy leaf shawl. So I started this one. And this is a little bit easier to work with because it's more like a 2 weight versus a lace weight. But yeah, that's going to be really pretty. I like that. And I've got plenty of that yarn, so I can make it as long as I want. So there's that. We're not going to play right now. Okay. So on to, we have a trend here with the leaves, I guess. So as I mentioned in my last video, I wanted to do the leafy shawl by My World of Crochet, Stina. I started to talk about that, and then I went off on a tangent for something else. So anyway, I started it, and I had such a hard time in the beginning with this stinking shawl. I had such a hard time. I can't tell you how many times I frogged it back. And I think I know what the problem is. I think I know it all by now, right? So I'm watching the tutorial, and you know how you think, you know, you kind of get the rhythm of the pattern, and so you move ahead instead of waiting, and you assume this and you assume that. Well, I think that must have been what I did, because it just wasn't working out right at all. So it was just aggravating, and I started it later in the evening, so I must have been tired. So I picked it up again the next day, and I was still having trouble. And I think it's because in the tutorial there wasn't, I don't know how to say this without possibly offending her, there wasn't enough information for me to know, okay, so you're doing a chain 3 here, or not chain 3, you're doing 3 double crochet in the 1 stitch, but we're supposed to assume, me being a beginner, I didn't. I guess people who are more well seasoned understood what the 3 double crochets were, that they were the beginning of the next leaf. Well, I'm a beginner. I didn't realize that. So it probably would have helped me to understand more the progression of the pattern rather than row by row by, does that make sense? Row by row by row, instead of explaining, okay, this is what's gonna start this, and this is what ends this. I don't know if that would have helped me, but I know from watching other tutorials, that's what they do. So I don't know. But now I've got a handle on it. I still have to every once in a while refer to my notes, because it is a 3-row repeat, and each row starts a little differently, and that's usually where I get in trouble, is not remembering the beginning and the ending. Do any of you guys have that problem? Once I get started, I'm fine. Once I get started, I'm fine, because I can see where I'm at in the formation of the leaf, or whatever the pattern is. But it's the beginning and the ending that I consistently struggle with, regardless of the pattern, regardless of how it's taught. I struggle with the beginning and the ending. So if anybody else has that problem, please tell me, because I can't imagine I'm alone. But anyway, this is the pattern. It's just beautiful. It's so pretty. And in hers, her yarn also has green, and I believe it has brown. So here's, whoops. So here's the yarn, and it's also Yarn Art Flowers, which is what she used in her tutorial. But this is like these strands here that I'm working on is some strands of yellow with brown, and then we finish with the yellow and brown, and then we have brown with a darker brown, and then we go from the darker brown to, this almost looks purple or lilac to me, but I think it's more of a taupe. So it's kind of a weird way to end the cake, but you know, whatever. It'll still be really pretty. And it kind of reminds me of the color of leaves, you know. So spring leaves, fall leaves. But it's going to be really pretty. And it works up pretty fast once you can wrap your head around the formation of the leaf and the ending of the leaf and whatnot. Now I understand all that. I didn't before. So here's another WIP that I'm working on. And this is, again, I was scrolling through my feed on YouTube, and I like to watch her channel name is Tula Maria, Crochet with Tula Maria, and it's Tuula Maria, Crochet with Tula Maria. And I believe she's either in the Netherlands or in Belgium. She might be in the Netherlands, just like Stina is. But anyway, she showed a different way of doing corner to corner, and she uses it for shawls. And so I decided I'd watch it because I like to see how people do their own little take on certain patterns, stitches. So her way of doing it is different. It makes for a much lacier fabric, which lends well to a shawl. So she starts out with a chain 7 versus a chain 6 for standard C to C, corner to corner. So she chains 7, and then she goes into the 5th. Yeah, the 5th chain from the hook. Yeah, she goes into the 5th chain from the hook. So 5, 6, and 7 is where she does her double crochets. And then she chains 8. And then starts another, I think that's when she chains 8. Anyway, it's different. So it's 7 and 8. So at the end of each row, she chains 8, goes into the 5th chain, and works in the next 3, and then puts a chain 1 between each block, which is different. So she's using more chains, she's chaining between each block. And I think that was really the only differences. So anyway, I've been wanting to make something with some of my Malabrigo Silky Merino, and this seemed perfect. So I started out just doing the C to C, and then I thought, I'll turn it into a cowl. So I took another color, which I don't know that I'm crazy about this now. I thought these two colors were really close to each other, but this one's clearly darker. But what I did was I just joined them here at the point, at the ends. I just joined them, and I'm going to go round and round and round with just double crochets, I think. Just double crochets, round and round and round, maybe 18 inches in height. And then you'll have that, and you can put it up over your head you know, wear it like a hood. If I make this part long enough, you know, it'd definitely go over your head. But I think that'll be really nice. And that's Malabrigo Silky Merino, my very favorite yarn. And I've got quite a bit of it. So there's that. So that's my current, some of my current WIPs that I'm actively working on. I have lots of others that have kind of been put on the back burner for now because I just want to make shawls. I really prefer to work with finer yarns, which is weird because people say it hurts their hands. And I'm not really understanding why it hurts people's hands, because to me, you're holding the hook much lighter. You're not putting stress on the hook, you know, to get it in the stitch. So to me, it's easier on my hands to work with finer yarns than it is the thicker ones, because I feel like you have to work harder with those heavier yarns. That's just my opinion. So I prefer the lighter ones. So making shawls and stuff is what I enjoy, which I think that's why I kind of have an affinity for Tracy at I Love Loopy's Crochet and Treasures. She likes shawls too, and she loves the finer one. And she's my age. Hi, Tracy, if you're watching. Hi. So anyway, that's my WIPs that I'm currently working on. I wanted to share also the yarns that I've recently received within the last few days. I mentioned in my last video that I made 2 Etsy purchases. And I've received well, one of the shops I placed 2 orders, and I've received both of those. The other one is in Lithuania. I didn't realize that at the time, I guess, but it's in Lithuania, so I have no idea when that'll get here. It's not even in the US yet, but it'll get here when it gets here. So I wanted to share with you the yarn that I received from this Etsy store, because it was a really good buy. They're discontinued yarns, but I love them just the same. So the first one I mentioned also in my other video, I think, my last video. He had this guy, and his channel is Lake Effect Handcrafts. And he sells most of his yarn in lots, if not all of his yarn in lots. So I'm just looking through, or no, I was doing a search for Malabrigo. That's what I was doing. Hoping to find some on sale. And I did. So he had 2 different lots. One was a lot of 3, the other was a lot of 5. And of the lot of 3, he had 2, quantity of 2. So 6 skeins, hanks, of this Malabrigo Silky Merino, which is my favorite. So I went ahead and ordered the 2 3-packs, and then he had an 8-pack of a Cascade Pima cotton. I ordered that. So so that was one order. Then the other order, I went ahead and ordered his last 5-pack of the same Malabrigo Silky Merino in the same color. And he had a Cascade Indulgence yarn pack, two different packs. And I didn't write that price down. I don't think I did. No, I did not write the price down. But it wasn't bad. So anyway, I'm just going to show you one of these, of the Malabrigo. So this is Malabrigo Silky Merino, and the color is Narciso or Narciso. I don't know why this won't. I can't get this thing to focus for the life of me. Anyway, it's like a butter yellow. It's coming out kind of beige on my screen, but it's a butter yellow, really light, pale yellow. I don't know how long this has been discontinued. But I don't care about that. It seems to be in good enough condition. So between all those lots, I have 11 hanks. Yeah, 11 hanks of this. So for those of you who don't know, the Silky Merino is 51% silk, 49% merino wool, 150 yards, 50-gram hank, hand wash, dry flat. And all Malabrigos made in Peru. So I don't know what I'll make out of that. If anybody has any suggestions, 11 hanks. So that's, 1,100 yards, give or take. So I got a bunch of that. And then this is another discontinued yarn. Oh, this must have been $5 for one of the packs. Anyway, it's Cascade Pima Melange. And does it give the colorway? It does not give the colorway. 100% Pima cotton. It's not the softest Pima cotton I've ever felt, honestly. This feels more like it doesn't even feel as soft as Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. It's not as rough as the utility cotton at Hobby Lobby, but yeah, I mean, it's soft enough. I'm sure it'd be softer after you wash it. Anyway, it's 50-gram little balls, 115 yards, made in Peru, Pima cotton. There's no color name on it, but it's like a light beige. And I have 8 of those. The last that I got from that same shop, okay, so this was, so one pack was 4 balls of the Cascade Indulgence. Oh my gosh, this is so incredibly soft, and I should have known it would be, because the fiber content is as follows: 70% superfine alpaca, 30% Angora. This is the only yarn I have of that combination. So I have 2 of this color, which is, it's looking kind of red. And I guess it could be red, but it almost looks like a really deep, like maybe a boysenberry. It's got a color number, 524. I don't know what that means, but it's more like a real berry color than a red to me. But it looks red on the screen. 2 of those. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, and this is more like a mauvey pink. Color number 522. Hand wash, mild soap in cold water, lay flat to dry. Avoid exposure to direct sunlight. This is so, oh my gosh. This is really soft. Really soft. I don't know what I'd make out of it. It's very fuzzy. That's the Angora. I don't have enough to make a wearable like a shirt or a sweater. I suppose I could scour the interwebs for more. If I could find more, I don't know. But that's my yarn that I've received. So, oh, and the price for, it was a hell of a price. for the Malabrigo ended up being $5 a hank. I mean, I think I had shipping. Maybe not. I might not have had shipping, but $5 a hank. The lot of 3 was 15. The lot of 5 was 25. So I've never seen a Malabrigo for $5. I don't think. I don't think so. Even the one that I got at my salvage store, I believe, was $7.99 for a chunky. So that was a good deal. Very good deal. I was happy to find it. And it's my favorite yarn. So, I guess that's all I have. I just wanted to pop on here and share that with you, because I was sitting here working on my shawl, my leafy shawl, and it's going to be so pretty. It's going to be really pretty. And again, I didn't put stitch marker in, so it's got pulled out a little bit. That's all right. So a little update on the home front. I went to go do dishes today, and I've got water backed up in my dishwasher. So luckily, it's things like this that make me glad that I'm renting. So I have to go to this website and put in a maintenance request. So I did that. The landlord got back to me right away, and hopefully somebody will be out this week. This is the second plumbing issue I've had in this house. And I'm sure it won't be the last. But, you know, I'm thankful I don't have to pay for it. I am thankful I don't have to pay for it. We got snow last night. I haven't gone out and measured it, but it's somewhere between 6 and 8 inches of snow. So our first big snow of the year. The temperatures have remained, for the most part, above freezing. Although I think it's supposed to be below freezing tonight, and I've noticed outside that it is turning icy. So I've heard reports of power outages. My sister, who lives about 30 miles south of me, she lost power for at least 5 hours this morning. Ours flickered for just a moment last night, but came right back on. I have sisters in Illinois, and they also were hit pretty hard and lost power. So yeah, I'm pretty sure others around in the area have lost power also. I'm thankful we didn't, because I don't think this house would stay very warm. So the snow. Oh, little incident with the snow. So out my front door, I have a wooden railing. Just kind of nothing fancy at all. Just, you know, a vertical 2x4, and then, you know, 45-degree railing going down. It's just one step. Anyway, I had a clamp bird feeder with a clamp that I had attached to that, because I wanted to be able to look out my front window and watch the birds and the squirrels. Well, come to find out that the snow got to be so heavy on that bird feeder that it took the horizontal rail completely off of the supports. I can't imagine that happening, but I guess it did. So I guess my son will repair that maybe tomorrow. So that happened. I can't think of anything else to report. just the plumbing issue and the railing issue. Everything else is fine here. It's supposed to get pretty darn cold toward the end of the week, like single digits and even below 0. So I imagine the wind chill is going to be awful. I'm not looking forward to that at all, especially since I have no garage to put my car in anymore. So I don't know how my old car is going to handle single digit temps. But we'll see. I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon. So anyway, I guess I will scoot out of here. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to welcome and thank all new subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. I truly do. I mean, this channel is really just for entertainment. And, you know, maybe make a friend or two along the way. And share my crochet journey and my passion for the craft and the fiber. So again, I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you will return for future videos. I'm supposed to get a Knit Picks order probably on Friday. I'm excited for that. So I may shoot another video on Friday. We'll see if it comes. It might have gotten delayed with the snow. Who knows? So, but that'll be my next video, whether it's Friday or whenever. That'll be my next one to show you my Knit Picks order. So we're at 37 minutes. I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to get back to crocheting, and I will see you guys on the next one. I hope that each and every one of you have a blessed new year, and always remember, God loves you, Jesus loves you, and I love you. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.